What's going on, guys? Robert here from Play All The Things, bringing you some more Black Ops 3 gameplay, and the purpose of this video today is to basically give it like sort of an in-depth analysis of Black Ops 3. You know, it's been out for just under a month, and I did give a first impressions video, but that was just the first impressions. Didn't really have enough experience of the game to give a full opinion. But I've been playing it for just under a month, like I said, and it's basically time to give my 2 cents. And if you're looking at buying it, for example, at Christmas or whatever, then this might help sway your decision one way or another, you know, depending on what you want in a Call of Duty. So, I should mention that this footage is from the PS3 version, or the old-gen Black Ops 3. Because that's what I was playing at the time. I have recently moved up to PS4, and I did want to leave a comment on how different the two games are, on old gen and next gen. It's really crazy how different they are. I mean, old gen just seems like it got such a short end of the stick because I guess it just doesn't have the programming space, but they're so different. The games, they're like day and night. It's absolutely insane. Like, for starters, the old gen has no campaign. There's no solo campaign or, you know, multiplayer campaign as it really should have been, because you know, there's a multiplayer campaign now on the next gen version. So there's none of that. There's a lot of customization things they left out of the multiplayer, such as the you know, the characters. You can change how they look and what guns they carry on the podium at the end, and you know, all the gestures to taunt your opponents when you win, which is great. But they left it out of old gen, so there's also the black market chest for rare camos and calling cards and stuff like that. So yes, they left out so much of the multiplayer, and they left out an entire campaign. I mean, it's a really stripped down version of it on old gen, and it's a real shame because you know, it really is a pretty damn good game, and old gen just seems to got the short end of the stick, and it's really unfortunate, but I understand why. So if you're looking at getting the game and you have next gen available, go for next gen without a doubt, because there's so much more about it. I mean, even the graphics, I mean, you expect them to be better, but the game just looks different. It's really crazy. Like, maps like Combine and Metro are really, they just look different. Like, they look better, but they also look just like not like the same map anymore, almost. I mean, in essence they are. It's just like the textures and the way it's been set out. It boggles my mind how day and night the two versions are. And there's just so much, like, the other problem as well is, like, the servers on old gen are kind of screwed. Like, it's difficult to stay in games, get into games, join up as parties, and all that sort of stuff. It's like the game freezes a lot for me as well on it's probably because my console's ancient, but it's just none of these problems exist on the next gen, and it seems like, I think it's because they missed out a bunch of patch data, because I did see there was a lot of patches that have gone into it on the next gen version, so that's probably what it is. But, you know, it's just one of those. Maybe it couldn't take it because of the programming space. Like, all I know is next gen is definitely better, and I couldn't recommend it more because it just looks awesome. Graphics are never something that sways my opinion on a game as well. I can appreciate them. They really are very good on next gen. So if you're gonna get it on that. If you can't afford it, it's not a bad game on old gen. It's still in essence the same thing. It's just it looks different, as missing a few things, but the gameplay is definitely basically the same on both of them. So it's not like you're not gonna have fun with it. It's just, you know, next gen is better, and a much better version of the game is just one of those things. So after that little talk, let's get into the nitty gritty. So this is multiplayer footage I'm displaying, so I will give my comments on that first. It's definitely a very solid multiplayer. It does have a few flaws with it, but that's to be expected with the fact that it's still kind of in its early stages, the game. Sort of. I don't know, like, not all the problems have been ironed out. I mean, I could list through them right now. It's like, in terms of weapon balance, for the most part, it is good. There are definitely a few guns that are pretty damn crazy, and I would like to see them tweaked just a bit. The two that spring to mind are the M8A7 assault rifle and the KN44 assault rifle. Assault rifles. But those guns definitely seem very dominant, and when I'm against them, it's very difficult to stay alive against them, because they're just a cut above the rest. I mean, it's not by much, but there's definitely, you can see why they're dominant. They're very powerful guns. They're very they're just, it's difficult to win in a one-on-one gunfight against them with guns like the Havoc assault rifle and the Shiva. You just don't see them very often because others are just better choices. So it'd be nice to see them get a nerf. The Vesper submachine gun, the VMP submachine gun, both of them very, very powerful. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get a nerf. I mean, even the Pharaoh's pretty damn good. I mean, maybe not so much because it's a burst fire and it doesn't have the fast cyclic rate of the chicken, but still, very solid choices. Just a few guns that are a definite cut above the rest. I would have mentioned the Gorgon, but in next gen I can see it has already been nerfed, because in this video you can see it's just a laser beam of long-range fury, and it's been given some visual kick, and it's also had its magazine size decreased in next gen, so it's received a bit of a nerf, let's put it that way. The supers are all fairly balanced. I truthfully can't think of one that is overpowered. I mean, you have to make them really dominant, you do have to be on your game. It's not like they're as controlling as Destiny, where you've got, like, invincibility frames or increased health while using them. They're just an extra gun or an extra ability to give you a slight edge in combat. They've all got their counters, they've all got their, you know, their caveats and what have you. Like the Tempest, you have to actually preempt your shots before you actually, you know, get into a gunfight with it. So it requires a bit of extra thought. Sparrow, again, you have to pull the bow back to a certain degree. I mean, obviously there's some that are a bit easier to use than others, but they all are very rewarding when used correctly, and they're all like fairly balanced in my opinion. The perks, I can't see any that are overpowered. I mean, every perk basically does one thing, like one small thing, or counters other perks. Like Hardwired does, it does like counter like things like Tracker and Sixth Sense, but it also, like, the only really game-changing thing it does is it avoids counter UAVs and EMPs, and trip mines aren't exactly great anyway, so that's not much of a plus point. But it's just stuff like that. You know, like they don't do too much. There's no centralizing perk like Modern Warfare 2's Stopping Power and Danger Close, or Modern Warfare 3's Assassin, or Black Ops 2's Toughness. You know, none that you'll basically see on almost every class, because they're just so much better for everything than other perks are. So, you know, there's definitely that with the perks, and I like that. You know, they're kind of almost underpowered. They're meant to suit you, not the class you're using. The kill streaks, none of them seem particularly too dominant. I mean, the only one that's caused slight concern is the Wraith, but that's because it's, like, really tough to take down. You can just hide inside to keep away with it, or keep away from it, or put on Blind Eye. But shooting it down is kind of a problem, because if you want to shoot it down, you should have Blind Eye. And if you've got Blind Eye, it's not going to shoot at you, and then you can't see it. So it's kind of a... Yeah, it's just one of those that kind of bugs me, I think. It doesn't really need a nerf, because you can just stay inside to get away from it, but that's that. So the multiplayer, yep, there's a lot of customization to make it fun. I mean, it's a fun multiplayer. It needs some things ironing out a bit. Like the spawns need a little bit of a tweak as well, but I've already gone over that too much. The zombies is definitely it's refreshing to see the zombies change so much, because basically zombies is needed, some kind of like a kick up the ass, you know, because for like Black Ops 1, especially some of Black Ops 2. The plan of zombies usually is it's very linear. You know, get points, go get Juggernaut, good submachine gun, hoard points until round 10 to 15, then get all your perks, get your guns, pack a punch, and then run in circles till you get bored. That's what it usually is. But Shadows of Evil, the new map, it's very solid. You know, it's got a lot of good things going for it. It's got a lot of new elements to it. It's got some new perks. I think it's got one new perk, new guns, new concepts. It's got a pretty lengthy Easter egg as well, which is also quite fun to do, because you get swords in it, and swords are awesome. And you know, zombies is just it's quite refreshing. It's definitely different to its previous versions, and that's good. It's what it needed. So definitely well worth the time. And the campaigns aren't really my thing, but it's definitely good. I've played through a bit of it, not all of it, but it seems it's got a lot of interesting customization factors to it. And like, that's the good thing about it. It's not just a linear story. It feels more like an RPG, because you have like super abilities and customizable weapons and specialist things and all that sort of stuff. Really solid campaign. Really enjoying it, actually. It's surprisingly, as I don't usually enjoy campaigns, but so it's pretty solid. It feels more almost like a Borderlands or Destiny style thing, but that's open for interpretation. But that's basically all there is about the game. So is it worth it? I would definitely say so. It's a very solid choice of a game to go with, and yeah, I think if you're looking at getting it, all aspects seem very solid. I'm sure they'll line out any slight errors that are there right now. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, and I hope you guys take the thoughts into consideration, take them with a pinch of salt if it's maybe not the sort of thing you agree with, but you know, that's okay. That's the point of having opinions. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys some other time, whatever the video is. Me or the Javomi 5 will see you there. Take care.
My chest, train my mind so I forget. Sink your teeth into my bones, dig me out, then fill the hole. Tear me apart.